Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how are you doing? A week ago I went to the Shaftesbury Theatre and watched a show called Memphis. This is my programme for it. And yeah, now Memphis is quite a well-known show because it actually was on Broadway from about 2009 I believe until 2012, and it won Best Musical at the Tonys, so obviously it's quite well loved by a lot of people and very well acclaimed as well, but it was never something that I thought I would like. Just like from the trailer and stuff and what I'd read about it, just a little bit. I didn't know too much about it to be honest, but the little bits that I'd seen from it, like some of the songs that I'd watched from it, didn't really convince me as the type of show that I would enjoy watching personally. Like, it just didn't look like it would be my cup of tea, but I surprised myself at how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing and I genuinely enjoyed the show. Now, the reason I even went in the first place was because as soon as Memphis began its previews in London, it started getting incredible reviews by pretty much everyone who went to see it. Like, all over my Twitter feed I kept seeing loads of tweets about how amazing the show was, and I was like, does this mean I have to go and see it now? Like, because I wasn't gonna see it anytime soon. It wasn't like on top of my priorities to see this year or anything, but after seeing all the great reviews from everybody, I just had to go and see it. And like I said, I went last Saturday with a friend and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it, in case you want to go and see it as well. The Memphis is set in the 1950s in America, in Memphis, of course, as the name suggests. And it's about this guy called Huey. He's a white guy, a white DJ, so to speak, and one day he goes into this club, a black club, and of course when he walks in, everybody looks at him because he's like the only white person there. But he just asks them to please let him stay because he just enjoys the music so much that he just wants to stay there and listen to some of the songs. In that club he meets this girl called Felicia. She's obviously a black woman and she's a singer. She's a very good singer as well. And Huey, as a DJ, decides to try and help make Felicia big and promises her even to get her on the radio. Now, Huey's situation at the time isn't very good anyway. He's about to get fired at his job and he really has to try hard to get a new job as a DJ, and soon enough though he becomes very popular and everybody actually starts really liking him. Like, he becomes this famous figure because he's not afraid to play black music even though he's white. And that's as far as I'm gonna go because I don't want to ruin anything, but basically Huey is probably the hero of the show. He's a very likeable character. Like, you really care for him, you root for him, and even though he's a bit strange and a bit too much at times, that's just how his character is, you can't help but love him because you know that, everything that he does comes from the heart, from a kind place. And again, I'm sounding very cheesy. I always sound very cheesy in my videos, but yeah, he's just a very cool and interesting and lovable character. Huey is played by an actor called Killian Donnelly. I've seen Killian Donnelly in quite a few shows previously. I first saw him, I think, in Les Mis. He was in the ensemble. Don't really remember much of his performance. Then I saw him in Phantom as Raoul, and I thought he was really good in that. Then I saw him in Billy Elliot as Tony. Didn't quite like him in that, but I also saw him in The Commitments last year and I thought he was really good in that. But this role, Huey, is definitely by far the best role I've seen Killian in. It just suits him completely and it's a perfect role for him. Like, vocally he is outstanding. Honestly, one of the best male vocals I've ever heard in a musical. But also his acting I thought was really great for this part. Like, because he's such a crazy character, like I said, very outgoing, kind of mad and a bit in your face even, but you still love him, you still care for him because of how Killian portrays him really. You just can't help but like the character, and that's all to do with Killian's way of convincing us, the audience members, that he's actually a really nice guy who's not opportunistic or anything. He just genuinely wants to spread great music around and help make great music and share it with people, and he doesn't care about like black and whites and the segregation and any of that, and I really like him because of that. I suppose everybody does. The character of Felicia is played by the very well-known Beverly Knight. I thought she was really great as well. Her voice is phenomenal. Her acting, not quite as good as her voice, not gonna lie, but it doesn't really matter anyway because her chemistry with Huey, Killian Donnelly, is still there and is very believable regardless of Beverly's acting. You still believe their chemistry, you still believe their relationship on stage, and it's a great performance, and yeah, I loved her. In case you don't know what these people look like, I'm actually going to show you a picture now because I've got my programme with me. This is Beverly Knight, who plays Felicia, and this is Killian Donnelly, who plays Huey, and I really hope you can actually see this because if not it'll be quite awkward. I'm also going to name one of the other cast members, and that was the character of Del Rey. He was played by Roland Bell. Del Rey is meant to be Felicia's brother and he's very protective over his sister. He doesn't like the fact that Huey takes an interest in her, and especially because obviously Huey's white and Felicia's black, and he just doesn't really like that much, and it's a bit awkward, but it's kind of interesting as well to see Del Rey's relationship as it grows throughout the show with Huey, and it's just, yeah, I don't know, he was really great. Roland Bell as Delroy, I thought he did a really good job as well. The whole cast, in fact, was great. Unfortunately, as it always happens in my reviews, I can't go through the whole cast list because it would take ages, but everybody was great, the ensemble was great, and yeah, there wasn't a weak link in the cast. I thought everyone did a great job. The sets were great. Sometimes I thought they kind of moved a bit too quickly, I suppose, but they were great regardless. I enjoyed them. The choreography was great. I really loved it. Very energetic, very fun. I couldn't keep my eyes away from some of the dance moves at some points. The choreographer for the show is actually a guy called Sergio Trujillo. I really hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't, but I'm sorry. But yeah, it was great. I really loved the dancing in the show. Music and lyrics is done by David Bryan. Now, although I don't think the songs were the catchiest songs I've ever heard in a musical, they were still very, very good. Like, me and my friend were humming along to some of the songs after the show finished. But to be fair, we did forget the song like about an hour later. It really annoyed us actually because we couldn't remember it, and that's why I say it's not very catchy. The music isn't the catchiest I've heard. But when you're there, you love it. The music's great and you enjoy it, and even though it's not my usual style of music, like I said, a lot of the songs are very kind of soulful and some of them are kind of gospel-like as well, and I don't usually enjoy that kind of music a lot, but throughout the show I really loved it. I genuinely enjoyed it, so yeah. And the book and lyrics is done by Joe DiPietro, I think. Don't know how to pronounce his surname again, but yeah, that was also very good. I don't know what else to say about the show, and I'm trying to keep my review short, so I'm going to try and wrap this up now. Basically, it's a very good show. It's a really fun show, an incredibly talented cast. The two leads especially, Killian Donnelly and Beverly Knight, were incredible. And the show itself was really fun. It's really uplifting, it's very energetic, and at the same time it's kind of sad because, again, quite similar to the Scottsboro Boys, it's during a time where segregation and racism was still a thing, and it kind of makes you feel sad when you watch it, and especially when you get to know Hugh's character and Felicia's character, and they kind of start to like each other, and it's kind of difficult at the time because obviously he was white and she's black, and it does, you know, break your heart a bit and make you sad and stuff, but that's good. That's what I love about it. If it didn't have that theme in the show, I probably wouldn't like it as much, because then it would have just been a fun, happy musical with no meaning behind it or no kind of thought-provoking message behind it, which I usually like in musicals. I don't like musicals that just tell a fun story generally. So yeah, it's a great show. I definitely recommend it. It's doing really well. Everybody's saying great stuff about it. It only opened like about 10 days ago officially, so it's still new. It's going to be there for a while, I think, hopefully. And yeah, if you have seen it though, feel free to leave comments and let me know what you thought of the show. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Oh yeah, also before I go, I'm really sorry if my voice sounded quite different in this video. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I do have a cold at the moment.